Hello and welcome back to Cowboys Insiders, the ultimate destination for everything surrounding the Dallas Cowboys, where the passions meets analysis and every fan has a voice. No matter where you're watching from, whether you are where you have lifelong supporters or just now becoming part of the Cowboys nations, you are officially in the right place. This is a community that built for those who understand that the being Cowboys fans is not just about watching the games, but it's just about feeling every moment in the Dallas Cowboys, celebrating every victory and questioning every decision that shapes this historic franchise. Here at Cowboys Insiders, we don't just report the news, but we break it down, we challenge it, and we connect to the dots in ways that give you a deeper understanding of what are really happening behind the scene. From the board leadership and vision of the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, to the performances on the field led by a star like Dak Prescott, the explosive playmaking of the CD Lamb, and the unstoppable defensive force that is Amika Parson. We cover every angle of this team with clarity, depth, and honesty. This is the place where every move matters. Whether it's a breaking down the latest NFL draft picks, analyzing a trade rumors, and reacting to a free agency's decisions, or previewing the next big games, we make sure you are always one step ahead. We look at strategy, the risk, that opportunity, the long-term vision of the Cowboys, because understanding the why behind every decision is what separates a real fan from a casual viewers. What makes this channel different is energy and connection we build together with you. This isn't just me tracking, it's all of us thinking, reacting, and debating on community, and your opinion matter here. Your perspective adds to the conversation. Every comment, every like, and every share help to grow this platform into something bigger and something stronger, and also something that truly represents Cowboys fans everywhere. So if you are new to Cowboy Insiders, now is the perfect time to join. Hit that subscribe button and become part of the glowing moments of fans who wants more than just surface level content. And for those who have been already subscribed, your support does not go unnoticed. You are the foundation of this channel, and everything we do is to build with your mind. As the Cowboys continue the journey, chasing a greatness, facing a challenge, and striving to return to the top of the NFL, we will be here every step of the way, every update, every breakdown, and every reaction. You will find it right here, delivered with a passion and purpose. The Dallas Cowboys are once again at the center of attention as they navigate the most crucial moments in the modern era, and everything about their approach to NFL draft, it reflects a franchise that is no longer satisfied with simply being competitive. This is a team driven by urgency, shaped by a past disappointment, and fueled by a deep desire to return to the top of National Football League. For years, the Cowboys have carried the weight of expectations only because of their history, but because of the immense spotlight that follows them everywhere. So now more than ever, that spotlight is focused on how they build their roster through a draft and how those decisions will define their immediate future. At the center of this entire operation stands a Jerry Jones, a figure whose influence on a franchise cannot be overstated. Jerry Jones has built his reputation on bold move, aggressive decisions, and the unwavering belief that the Cowboys should always be contenders. Unlike many organizations that embrace a long-term rebuild, Dallas operates with a win-now mentality, and that philosophy is clearly reflected in how they approach the draft. Every pick is not just about potential, it is about an immediate impact. It is about finding the players who can step into a high-pressure environment and delivers results from a moment they arrive. The foundations of the current Cowboys roster is strong, and it begins with a quarterback, Dak Prescott, where a Dak Prescott has been the leader of the team for years, and while his performances have often been impressive and the narrative surrounding him to become increasingly tied to postseason success, the rectangular season consistency is no longer enough. The expectations now is clear. Take the team deeper into a playoff and compete for a championship. Supporting Prescott is one of the league's most dynamic wide receivers in CeeDee Lamb, whose ability to create separations, make explosive plays, and dominate defenses has made him a cornerstone of the offense. Together, they form a partnership that has the potential to be one of the most dangerous in the NFL. But even that is not sufficient, but the right supporting case cost. On the defensive side of the ball, Micah Parsons has emerged as a generational talent. And Micah Parsons is not just a linebacker, he is a complete defensive weapon capable of flashing the passer, dropping into the coverage, and disrupting a plays in ways that few players in the league can replicate. His presence alone changes how opposing offenses prepare for the Cowboys. However, the team has recognized that relying too heavily on one player, no matter how talented, is not sustainable strategy. The draft therefore becomes an opportunity to build a defensive unit that complements a person's. One of the most pressing concerns for the Dallas heading into this draft is the offensive line. Once considered the gold standard of the NFL, the Cowboys' offensive line has experienced a gradual decline due to the injuries, aging players, and a roster turnover. Protecting a Dak Prescott has become an absolute priority, not just to maintain offensive efficiency but to ensure the long-term health and effectiveness of the quarterback position. The front office is acutely aware that without the strong and reliable offensive line, even the most talented offense can struggle. As a result, the Cowboys are expected to invest heavily in a lineman who combine a physical strength, technical skills, and the mental awareness needed to adapt a speed of professional game. Beyond the trenches, the Cowboys are also focused on adding a depth and versatility to the defensive unity. The modern NFL demands defenses that can adapt to a wide range of offensive schemes, from a high-powered passing attacks to a balanced run-heavy system. So a Dallas is targeting a player who brings a speed, flexibility, and intelligence to the field, defenders who can cover in multiple positions, react quickly to the changing situations, and contribute in various roles. This approach reflects a broader shift in the team philosophy, one that emphasizes adaptability and strategic depth over a rigid position role. Offensively, the need for additional weapons is another key focus. While CeeDee Lamb has established himself as a true number one receiver, the Cowboys understand that elite offenses require a multiple threat. Defenses have become increasingly sophisticated and relying on a single dominant receiver who can make an offense predictable. By adding another wide receiver with a speed, a tight end who can both block and crouch, the running back who excel in at passing game, Dallas can create a more dynamic and unpredictable attack. This not only helps Prescott but also forces opposing defenses to spread their attention, opening up opportunities across the field. And what makes this year's draft particularly interesting is the way of the Cowboys are blending traditional scouting with a modern analytics. The organization has embraced a data-driven decisions making, analyzing players' performance metrics, injury histories, and scheme fit in a greater detail than ever before. This evolution demonstrates willingness to adapt to the changing landscape of the National Football League, where a success often depends on finding the right balance between intuition and information. It is a sign that the Cowboys are not just relying on their legacy but are actively working to stay ahead of the curve. The pressure surrounding the franchise cannot be ignored. The Cowboys are one of the most recognizable teams in a sport, and with that recognition comes constantly scrutiny. Every decision is analyzed, every game is dissected, and every failure is magnified. For Jerry Jones, the pursuit of another championship is deeply personal. For a Dak Prescott, and the stakes are equally highly, as his legacy as a quarterback will ultimately be defined by a postseason success. For the coaching staff, the expectations is simple but demanding. Deliver results. In this context, the NFL draft become more than just a process of selecting a player. It become a defining moment, a chance to reshape the roster and address a critical weaknesses and build a team capable of competing at the highest level. The Cowboys are not looking for developmental prospects who may take years to reach their potential. They are just looking for players who can contribute immediately, who can handle the intensity of the NFL, and who can help the team win now. As the draft unfolds, each selection carries a significant weight. A successful pick can strengthen a key area of the roster, while missed opportunities can leave gaps that opponents will exploit. The margin for error is small, and the importance of each decision is magnified. by the team's current position as contender. The Cowboys are close and closer enough to believe that the right addition could make all the difference. Ultimately, the story of the Dallas Cowboys at this moment is one of determination and transformation. They are a team with a proud history, talented roster, and clear objective. The challenge lies on turning a potential into performance, in translating a draft day decisions into on-the-field success, and in providing that they can rise above the expectations that have defined them for so long time. So if those NFL draft in the Dallas Cowboys succeed, this draft could be remembered as the moment when everything came together, the moment when the Cowboys finally bridged the gaps between promise and achievement. If they fall short, it will be another chapter in a long story of a near to complete a Lombardi trophy. Drop through in the comment section because today updates are massive and there is a lot of talk about the let's get straight into. The buzz around the Dallas Cowboys continues to grow as the franchise punches a deeper into a massive off-season transformation that could completely reshape the identity of an American team heading into 2026 NFL season. After another year filled with a playoff expectations, a roster questions, a salary cap, conversations, and a heavy scrutiny from fans and analysts across the league, the Cowboys front office is attacking this offseason with a far more aggressive mindset than many expected. From NFL draft strategy to free agency's depth moves, from a locker room leadership questions to offensive scheme adjustment, everything happening inside the star line now suggests this organization understands the pressure to finally return to a Super Bowl contention. One of the biggest talking points surrounding the Dallas remain a quarterback, Dak Prescott, and expectations placed on him entering another critical season. Prescott continues to face enormous pressure because the Cowboys have invested heavily in him as the face of franchise, but fans are demanding a postseason result instead of a regular season dominance. Inside a league cycle, many executives still believe Dak is one of the most efficient quarterbacks when protected by a stable offensive line and supported by a balanced run game. However, critics continue pointing towards a turnover in a key moment, a red zone inconsistencies, and struggles against elite playoff defenses as the major concerns that the Dallas must overcome if they want to make a deep January run. The Cowboys coaching staff reportedly spent much of the offseason studying ways to evolve the offensive scheme into a more explosive and unpredictable attack. Expect more pre-snap motions, heavier use of the play action concepts, quicker tempo packages, and expanded vertical route tree designed to maximize mismatches against opposing secondaries. Dallas understands the modern NFL is built around offensive flexibility, and sources around the league believes the Cowboys want to create an offense capable of attacking a defenses at every level of the field instead of relying too heavily on isolation routes and conservation sequencing. A huge lesson for for optimism remain a superstar wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, who has evolved a yards after catch explosiveness and the ability to line up both outside and in the slot make him almost impossible to game plan against for 4 quarters. Coaches inside the organization reportedly want to move him around even more this season to create leverage advantages and force defenses into unfavorable coverage looks. League scouts believe Lamb is entering the absolute prime of his career, and there is growing feeling that the Dallas may build the entire offensive identity around his versatility moving forward. Meanwhile, the Cowboys running back room continues to be one of the most heavily debated unit on the roster. So the Dallas has clearly been searching for a more explosiveness and consistency after struggling to establish a dominance on the ground in critical games that season. NFL insiders believe the organization wants more physical or downhill rushing identity combined with outside zone speed concept that can strengthen defenses horizontally. So the front office also appear committed to improving a short yardage efficiency. So something that became the frustrating weakness during a key moment last year. Analysts expect a Dallas to continue evaluating veteran market options while simultaneously developing a younger back who fits the new offensive philosophy. The offensive line remains another central storyline because protecting a Dak Prescott has become one of the franchise's top priorities. So injuries and inconsistencies affected the unit of different points last season, but the Cowboys still believe they possess foundational pieces capable of restoring a dominance in trenches. Dallas scout and the coaches have emphasized the versatility, athleticism, and cross protection intelligence while evaluating alignment through thought of season. The organization reportedly wants to build the unit into a faster and more adaptable group capable of handling modern defensive pressure packages, especially against an elite NFL pass rusher. Defensively, the Cowboys continue building around superstar edge rusher Micah Parsons, who remains one of the most feared defenders in football. The Parsons has completely transformed the identity of the Cowboys defense with his elite burst, crossing a speed pass rusher versatility and relentless motor. Opposing offensive coordinator now build entire protection plans around limiting his impact, yet he still consistently creates pressure and game-changing plays. Around the league, many believe Parsons is not only the cornerstone on the Cowboys defense but also one of the few defenders capable of completing taking over a playoff game by himself. There is also growing excitement surrounding a Dallas defensive depth and hybrid personnel packages. Coaches reportedly want to create a more disguised look before the snap, giving a quarterback fewer opportunities to identify the coverages and blitzes early. The Cowboys defense has become increasingly positionless in a certain situation with a linebacker and safety expected to rotate responsibilities depending on matchups. That flexibility could become one of the biggest strengths of the roster if a younger defender continues developing at the pace the organization expects. So another major focus this offseason has been improving a land defense, especially after a several physical dominance. Opponents exposed weakness in the front seven during a critical stretches of the previous season. Dallas Cowboys understand that playoff football often becomes a battle of the physical in the trenches, and there is reportedly strong emphasis on adding a tough interior defenders capable of controlling a gaps and collapsing lashing lanes. Coaches want a more disciplined unit that can maintain aggressions without sacrificing assignment integrity. The Cowboys front office, led by the owner, Jerry Jones, continues to face enormous pressure from fans demanding a return to championship relevance. So, Jones has repeatedly emphasized that the organization remains fully committed to winning now. And insiders around the NFL believe Dallas could continue making aggressive roster moves if opportunities arise during training camp or the regular season. The franchise understands that the patience among the fan base is wearing thin after years of the playoff disappointment, despite a strong regular season record. One of the most interesting aspects of the Cowboys offseason is how much attention the franchise has placed on leadership and locker room culture. Coaches reportedly want a stronger accountability across the roster, especially in high-pressure moments late in the games. So the veterans have been challenged to create a more disciplined and mentally resilient environment capable of handling adversity when expectations rise. So the Dallas has talent that has never been the issue. The really questions is whether this roster can finally translate a potential into a postseason execution. The NFC landscape is also becoming increasingly competitive, which means a Dallas cannot afford the regulation. Teams across the conference continue improving through the draft and free agencies, and coaching changes are putting even more urgency of the Cowboys to maximize their championship window immediately. The analyst believes that the Cowboys roster still possesses enough inherent talent to compete with any team in football, but consistent health and late season execution will ultimately determine whether this group become legitimate Super Bowl contender or another talented team that falls short under pressure. As a training camp approaches, also the expectation around the Dallas Cowboys remain enormous. Every practice lap, every depth chart battle, and every contract negotiation and every preseason performances will be analyzed intensely because this franchise lives under a spotlight unlike almost any other organization in sport. Fans are desperate to see team capable of dominating physically, executing efficiently, and finally breaking through the postseason barrier that have haunted the organization for years. Is are serious about getting back to the top. And that's exactly what we are going to break down today in the Dallas Cowboy. So we are going to go through every major move, every key picks, and what it all means for the future of the Dallas Cowboy and the owner of the Dallas Cowboy, Jerry Jones. Are they building a championship defense? Are they making the right decision in the Dallas? And the most important, are the Cowboys finally ready to compete again at the highest level? So sit back, relax, and stay locked in because this is Cowboy Insiders, and today we are diving deep into the Dallas Cowboy 2026 NFL Draft Journal. The 2026 NFL Draft has officially kicked a night, And from the very first moments, it became clear that this year's events would be defining turning points for the several franchises. Among the teams drawing the most attention early on were the Dallas Cowboys franchise under intense pressure to bounce back after disappointing 2025 season. With expectations high and fans demanding change, Dallas entered the draft with a clear sense of urgency and strategy that quickly began to unfold in dramatic fashion. Coming off 7-9-1 record, the Cowboys knew that standing still was not an option. The front office, led by the owner Jerry Jones, had already hinted in the off-season that significant roster adjustments were coming. But no one could have predicted just how aggressive and focused the approach would be once the draft began. Rather than playing it safe, the Dallas made broad moves that signaled a complete commitment to reshaping the identity of the team. Particularly on the defensive side of the ball, the first major moments for the Cowboys come early in the first round. Not content with the original draft position, the Dallas executed a strategic trade to move up the board, targeting one of the most highly regarded defensive prospects in entire class, Caleb Downs. Widely considered, Caleb Downs as the one of the smartest and most versatile safeties available. Caleb Downs brings innate football intelligence, exceptional awareness, and ability to impact games immediately. His presence in the secondary is expected to address one of the Dallas' biggest weaknesses from last season, where a blown coverage and inconsistent safety play often cost them crucial games. So there is many things that makes Down such as a valuable addition is not just his physical talent, but his leadership and composure. So analysts have consistently described him as a day one difference maker, a player capable of organizing the defense and elevating those around him. For the Cowboys defense that struggled with consistency, his arrival could mark the beginning of a new era to build a discipline and execution. However, the Dallas was far from finished. Later in the first round, the Cowboys once again made headlines by maneuvering their ways into another favorable position to select Marcus Lawrence. These picks further emphasized their defensive overhaul, as Lawrence is widely known for his explosiveness off the edge and his ability to disrupt opposing quarterback. During his college career, he built reputations as a relentless pass rusher, combining speed, power, and techniques to consistently pressure offenses. The addition of Lawrence addresses another critical issues from previous season. While Dallas has flashes of strong defensive line